So, good morning everyone, good evening. And today we are casting Lavendar versus Minimoult. And it's my first time, so please be gentle. It's a little bit of a weird time too. Okay, so Mini is going for a big XP treasure. Let's look at his deck, he hasn't chose one yet. Lavendar is going for 80 coin, which will not be that useful because he has a market already. But it'll help later on for steel traps, musk production, whatever. Mold is kiting that very nicely, barely losing any HP, and it doesn't reset on the trees, which is very good for him. And he'll have his first shipment just a bit quicker. Not that much quicker, but nice. They've both gone for a market start, which I guess makes sense because of the free coin treasure that you usually get, although he hasn't picked that one up. And yeah, just age 1 Brit stuff, just one scout, gonna go look for the sheep to age a bit faster. Aging faster is pretty important, especially if you're going for a forward base war, as usually happens in the Brit Mere. And maybe a bit of a contention coming up. I don't know if I should leave the Fog of War on or off or not. I mean, let's leave it off for age 1 maybe. Well, Mini gets that, and he also has more HP, so he's going to win that fight. Alright, let me move my keyboard so I can... never mind. I can't move around the map with WASD, or the arrows. So we're just going to use the mouse. And yeah, they're both just back off. Gonna go look up here maybe. This is usually... There's always like a safe treasure. Oh, well, not here, but there usually is like a safe treasure in a sheep. If you lose the fight, you can just go back and pick that up. And let's check... So Mini is aging 17. Oh, I missed that. That's kind of interesting. He went for 2 manas in the market. Okay. Completely missed how he did that, but I'm assuming he chopped a lot extra. And so they're going to be aging pretty similar times. Yeah, okay. Lavendar's a little bit faster, but Mini has squeezed an extra vill out. And okay, let's try with the Fog of War back on.
Yes.
Weird. Okay, so Mini picks 70 food up. Pretty nice, sending vills forward. Lavendar also sending vills forward. Probably going to build a mana in the middle so he can build his racks with 2 vills instead of 1. Let's look at the decks, see if there's anything interesting. Chill water. There's a lot of interesting things here actually. There's Pioneers, which is nice for a little bit of vill fighting in a Brit Mere when you're low on map. Spice Trade is very interesting. It's kind of a high hunt map, but usually something that you would feel like you struggle to fit in a, you know, fast-paced Brit game where army is really important. Lavendar's is looking a bit more standard by comparison. They both have water, but they both have like water cards, but not like schooners, rendering plant, so they're probably only going to be going water as a last resort. Bit more explorer fighting. We're about to hit up, both aging with the governor, I would imagine, yes. And a little bit of explorer snaring. Lavendar's up just a tiny bit earlier.
Yes.
And Mini's sending 2 vills. Rax is going down right next to each other. Just Brit Mere stuff. One thing you can do, which neither are quite doing here, is like you can just put your outpost right on top of their racks and just be extra annoying. But they're going for a little safer option here. And we will see what Lavendar has queued, which is muskets. Hit the button on the timeline. Thank you, Lucas. Good idea. And Mini picks up Explorer. Nice little bit of XP, and like the Explorer is really nice for snaring in the early like 5 Musk versus 5 Musk war, so that's gonna be nice, even though his is kind of low HP too. And both 700 wood first. Yeah, okay. And Mini with that extra XP, you see, already has his second shipment in queue. So that treasure's finally coming back and paying dividends. Whereas Lavendar's just getting it now, and it's going to be also 600 wood. So they're just going for lots of manas and lots of musks, and I guess the interesting thing we'll see is when they add the second racks as opposed to just booming more. Let me try to check their market text. Okay, Mini's got steel traps. I feel like I'm moving the camera really badly. Maybe I should just leave Fog of War off. Okay, yeah. Steel traps both have steel traps already. They probably use the age up coin to get that. Yes. Lavendar's maybe going for a treasure, although his Explorer's dead, so he's maybe just going for a raid. Mini's already in position, lots of line of sight. Musk's already ready to catch it, so he might get the Explorer, but probably not a whole lot else. Wait 1 sec, I've got Discord pings, see if it's anything important. Okay, nothing important, sorry about that. Let's continue. So he did pick up the Explorer, and looks like Mini missed a Musk, little newbie. Or maybe one died and I didn't notice. Anyway, not much happening there. Just a nice little trade, and they are adding their second racks at the exact same time, pretty much. Let's check the mana count. Mini is a bit ahead. He's managed to boom a bit more, though Lavendar's probably dropping another 1 or 2 right now. Mini again, getting his shipments in earlier. There's 5 Vils, more Musks. So everything's pretty much exactly the same so far. Lavendar's just going for a little bit of pressure at this angle to avoid the tower. And we're gonna get some trades going. Yeah. This is just Britmere. Weird matchup, man. Very similar macro, very similar mana count, very similar army. Let's see if he deviates here. Spice trade, there we go. So that's going to be nice. Now, it's like a second steel traps, and it also prolongs his hunts. So as long as he can stay on hunts, it's going to be a pretty nice card. But it might put him behind an army if Lavendar goes for, let's say, Musk attack next. And this is going quite well for Lavendar. Not getting stuck in the TP here, I hope. Nope. Yeah, he's just trading really well. Although he's gonna have to back off now. More Musks. And yeah, Lavendar's going for Musk attack. Then again, Mini, again with the XP, is not that far behind in his shipment curve, so he can keep up a bit better than he would have been able to. And now we wait again. Ready. 22, 28. But Mini's batches are coming a bit faster. And his eco is very good right now, so we got 41. Yeah, I have the bar up here that can just show that, so 42 versus 41. And yeah, 38, 32, whatever. It's constantly changing, and they might add a third rack soon. No sign of that yet though. Their eco isn't quite good enough and they don't have any wood.
Ready.
So Lavendar's going for this angle again. Just avoiding the tower. Maybe going to siege that mana. Get a little bit of XP. And what is Mini shipping? Yeah, Musk attack, okay. So he's basically just, they're doing the same build except Mini is squeezing in Spice Trade. And getting his Musk ups a little bit later. Yeah, okay, so Lavendar's already got the attack in and he's going HP now. Musk on Musk action. Mini might call Minutemen here, try and save his racks. It's pretty close to his TC. Macro's still looking very nice. That's like third racks kinda macro. Getting some good concave surrounds here. Still looks pretty even. Counts are very even. Lavendar's up a tiny bit in bills, but Mini's got Spice Trade. And he's just one Musk up ahead. Okay, and there's the third racks for Mini. Let's see if we have... No third racks from Lavendar yet. So maybe that's the Spice Trade paying off. And I imagine we're going to see Musk HP any second now. There it is. It's running a bit low on map maybe. Oh, well, he's doing a decent bit of hunt up here, a little bit here. So Spice Trade is looking like a pretty decent decision right now. Because another thing, like after you get both Musk ups in as Britain, you know, you have this enormous mass, and you look at your shipments and like, what do you really send that is that amazing? Like coin, eh. Food, meh. They both have Vels too, which is not going to be useful anytime soon. So getting like a really high value, potentially shipment snuck into your build like that is pretty nice. Let's see what they see. Okay. Some pretty nice scouting. Most of the map in line of sight. Yeah, very similar. And Lavendar is once again going for some pressure at this kind of bottom angle. Avoiding the outpost. And he's just going to back off straight away. This Mini has a lot of units. Still very similar counts though. Mini is getting like full batches from 3 racks though, really nice macro. Though he's going to be running low on food a little soon. Lavendar looks like he's still on 2 and is... I don't know if he'll try to age with this coin, but like he's gonna stack a lot of coin if he doesn't. His vills are maybe like a bit further out on the map hunting. So he won't have to worry about running out quite as soon. Now Mini's pushing. Just gonna mill around aimlessly. It's always awkward when you get like more of 50 units in like the control group that you're used to, so you just have to start using a different one for more of the same unit. But Mini's probably used to that. Again, so now he's up quite a bit, Minimoult that is, in military. And they have the same upgrades, so this muscle is just going to go really well for him as long as he can keep most of them attacking, which he is. Just moving them forwards very nicely. A little bit of milling in the back, but not too much. And he's just staying solidly ahead. Behind a tiny bit in build count, but he has Spice Trade. Shipping longbows to commit to the push, I like it. And it's not like he has much else to ship at this point anyway. And Lavendar shipping Musk to defend. Very standard. He has 3 Raxes now. He added the 3rd, yeah, down there. Makes sense. Quite a few idols. It's hard to deal with while you're fighting. Mini has less idols. Still gathering lots of food. So his reinforcements are just going to be really good. Though Lavendar does have some huge batches coming, this just looks like it's going really well for minimoult, and the scores tell the same story. Yep. And it's going to be really hard to come back as Lavendar here. Just 15, 20, whatever, more musks at any given time. And more longbows. And he's hunting right here, so like, can't retreat anywhere. Mini is hunting, still kind of in base somehow. Well, he's finally running out up here and here, or whatever. Let's go back to the fight. Yeah, Mini's just gonna slow push his advantage. Not overcommit. Lavendar's shipping food now. And that's all he can ship really. Oh, and he's starting to train boats. So that's a way you can try to come back when you're behind like this, but it's, especially like with no schooners or anything, it's gonna take so long to pay off. And like, it's gonna take a long time to compensate for, let's say, 30 vills being pushed off hunts. So that's not something that Mini is going to care about for a long time at least. And meanwhile, yeah, just slow pushing that military advantage. And I wouldn't be surprised if the game ends kind of soon. This score gap in a mirror, and this army gap is, it's not something you can easily come back from. Or maybe I'm ruining the tension, but it looks pretty over to me. More musk on musk. He's be able to keep, it looks like, all 6 of those longbows alive, which is very nice. They're squishy little units, so if you just have them in the back firing away, not dying, they've gotten a lot of value. So Lavendar's up a bit more in vills now with his fishing boom going. Oh, Mini's doing the exact same thing, just a little bit later. That makes sense. Hunts are quite low, and like what's left, you have to walk a long way for. Although Mini probably should, just like, you know there's going to be hunts down here even if you haven't scouted them. So just like, shift click 20 vills down there. I mean, you've got spice trade. It's got to be worth it. But he probably doesn't care that much because he's winning quite hard here. Yeah, this is brutal for Lavendar. Shipping 2 Vels, gonna contest water a bit. I mean, he doesn't even know that Mini's on water. Or maybe he does because he's seen this, but like either way, he just has nothing else to ship, so may as well. But once again, it's 48 units to 2 units, so water's not going to be relevant at all. Hunting in this pocket, like these vills, are just all going to be dead or idle in a minute. Yeah, Mini's just going to slow roll this game out, it looks like. I don't see how Lavendar comes back from this. A little bit of water action, not much. Looked like he got a boat, went back when the docks got garrisoned. Yeah. I mean, he's just AFKing his stuff now. A little bit of multitasking. 3 musks dealing with 3 musks. Both shipped Vels. Makes sense. They've got nothing else to ship. And the Vil counts have evened up back up a little bit with Mini training boats. And that's interesting though. He's on mills. Like, there's hunts down here. There you go, 1, 2. I think it's definitely worth moving a Vils, but he's just playing it safe, I guess. Maybe he thinks that Lavendar's already eaten everything down here. Losing a Vel, training a Vel, it looks like. Lavendar also training a Vel. They're investing a lot into water for, like, what's probably not going to be a very important part of the game. I could be wrong, though. I haven't watched these racks before. This could go for another 40 minutes, and water could be very important. But I just doubt it. More good trades for Mini. Let's check their shipments, actually. Yeah, so they sent everything. Except Lavendar hasn't shipped longbows. And Mini hasn't shipped pioneers. Always an awkward thing about playing Brit for so long. Just running out of shipments in Age 2. And he's just going for the TC, which is a nice decision. Lavendar's investing so much in water that he's not going to be able to do anything about this. 10 Vils garrisoned. Efficient, but won't really make a dent in this army. Lavendar's doing his best here. He's pulled back out on Vils. He's training boats. He's... Ah, that's nice. I mean, he's already gone for that armor plating upgrade, it looks like. I feel like that's really loud. I can barely hear myself over this. Will someone tell me if, like, this is drowning me out? But it's just going to be a stalemate on the water for the meantime, it looks like, while Mini... Oh, he stopped sieging the TC. Interesting. Lavendar shipping 6 longbows to hold. And more good trades for Mini. Yeah, these upgrades are just so huge, right? I mean, it's expensive, but... just 400 more HP. Crazy. Okay. Back on land, it's still 60 versus 23. Actually, Lavendar is the one hunting down here still. Being quite sneaky. Mini has line of sight of that now. So he could just send a few musks down there and pick up a lot of Vils. But it's kind of hard to notice things like that when you're, you know, like trying to micro Vels, be on top of your army, etc. Now Lavendar's gone for that upgrade as well. Makes sense, it's a very good upgrade. And he's still ahead on Vils, so like he does have one thing going for him in this game. And it's not like, you know, Mini's eco lead is... like, Spy Stray's not working for him at all. He's just not hunting, he's on mills and boats. Ah, yeah, so he does see it, and he sends a lot of musks down there to deal with it. And here too, okay. This is, yeah, this is brutal. They've got nowhere to escape. There's like... there's like 30 Vils down here. There's more than 30 Vils down here. They're just gonna run back up top, but he's going to lose a lot while he's doing it. And he can't even defend them because he's got to defend other things. Yeah. This is looking like GG. He does escape a few. Just because there were so many and like Mini doesn't have snare, but... still, all that idling. Painful. Yeah, Mini staying on top of it, just going to chase them wherever they go. Maybe going for a snare with these as well. And in the meantime, just healing Vels. Looks like it's still a stalemate. Has he gotten... okay, let me check. Ah, so, yeah, Lavendar's gotten the second upgrade. So his Vels are going to be a bit better for the meantime. Oh, and yeah, Mini's pulled up on Vils massively because of those raids. So Lavendar now has nothing going for him. And now he's hunting a bit down here, finishing off his manners. It's interesting, neither of them are max pop. I guess you feel like it's not worth it if you're just training a Vil to put him back onto wood. I'd rather have fishing boats. They've also probably lost quite a few manners to sieging. Lavendar getting established on the island, which is very nice. Very hard defensive position to break.
Ready.
I bet Mini's probably not going to care too much about breaking it when he can just push the TC again. And I think as Mini, so he's putting outposts up, which is nice. It looks like he just wants to prolong the stalemate on water. I think the right call here is just to age. You're stacking shipments already. I mean, you've sent like pioneers, which is currently useless. So you'd really want to have access to all these nice things. And like, you're so far ahead in army. I mean, look at that, 94 to 34, 60 pop ahead. You can absolutely just gather to age, like, before the coin on the map runs out. Okay, it's GG anyway. So a pretty nice little Brit Mirror. Started off as Brit Mirrors do, and
Yes.
for 23 minutes. Could accuse the Lavendar of turking a bit, but I think that was pretty reasonable for a tournament game. Pretty bad MU for Brit. Yes, it is. Bit of a coin flip. Bit of a weird one. Maybe I should have checked post game, but you had the stats. Okay. Mini versus Lavendar. Game 2. So I actually have no idea how this series went. And I have no idea what the maps are either, so I'm just finding out along with all of you. Let's go. I'm not getting any complaints in the chat, so I'm assuming the sound is all good. Alright, let me hide the timeline again. Let's not forget to do that. Hit that button. I think I just wait for the more info thing to come up. I'm not sure how that works. But anyway, let's note the matchup first. Spain versus Germany. And we've seen this a few times in recent tournaments. It's, I don't want to say it's very Spain favoured, but it's very awkward to play as Germany. Just compositionally, it's, you know, the classic Spanish gold 1k wood double racks skirm rod, and when they ship the 2 Falcons, it becomes very, very hard to kill them without losing all of your army. So we'll see how they play it. Sometimes, like, you know, if Spain goes for a forward tower and like 2 TPs or something, it can be definitely worthwhile to stay in age 2 as Germany, train some dops or pikes and just try to like nuke everything on the map. But usually Germany will be looking to go fortress quite quickly as well. And Spain, I would be very surprised if they just don't go for a naked FF. Very standard deck. Maybe 4 Vils is a little weird, but like, this is something you ship that, like, because you're Spain, you like chew through shipments so fast. You're like, you run out of fortress stuff, so you just start sending colonial shipments. And like 4 Vils can actually be decent then. Especially with Spanish gold. Going straight for 80 coin. Not very useful. Because, oh wait, no, it is useful. Because he's got a market. I guess market start makes sense because there's a billion little coin treasures on this map. So he could even, if he finds another coin treasure, which is very likely, trade that for wood and get a very fast TP in transition. Or he could just save the coin to age faster. Mini is running into his dog, taking some free shots, which is pretty nice. Less chance of getting bullied in age 2 like that. Age 1, I mean. Nice herding from both players. Always got to stay on top of that with D hunts running away 2 seconds after you herd them. Exchanging some fire. Mini's got a little more HP. Yeah. But he's afraid of the dog, so he's not going to try and go in and snare or anything crazy. And they're just going to dance around these mid-map treasures. Both are going to be very afraid to like start anything like 100 wood, 2 polar bears, when they know they're both in the area. Let's actually turn off Fog of War and see what else there is. Okay, more little coin treasures. This would be very nice for either player. And, okay, yeah, so there's not much left on the map, just this and this pretty much. Quite low HP on the dog. Which again is very nice for Mini, because like, let's say he wants to build his trading post, the dog tries to come up to get free shots on the Explorer, he can just kill it quite quickly. And Lavendar will have to train more dogs if he really wants to deny that. Okay, so Lavendar is aging already. 15 Vils is what you usually get if you don't go for a TP start. And it's just going to be taking probably just 1 TP. Chopping for 2 at this point is a bit crazy. I mean, a very late age. And Mini is going up with the Quartermaster, everything standard, building his transition TP. Let's check if he got Gang Saw, because that's usually a sign of things to come. Okay, no, not yet. So all that means is that he probably won't be like making pikes or anything. Maybe he'll make DOPS, or maybe he'll just go for a naked FF. Yeah, getting Placer Mines quite early, so looking like DOPS Uhlans or a naked FF, but Uhlans is a little weird versus Spain. Don't usually get much done with them. More nice herding from Lavendar. I'm not checking the hunts here really, but it looks pretty standard for this map. You've got like your starting hunt. And he's sort of getting this muskox herd, which Lavendar doesn't really have an equivalent to. Maybe he does, I don't know. It's always hard to tell on this map, it's kind of big and stuff gets stuck behind cliffs and everything. Oh, no, I didn't mean to speed up. Shit. Okay. Mini scouting the tower right on time. This is really nice, especially if he's... Yeah, okay, so he's going to go for DOPS, I'm pretty sure. This could also be pike macro. Oh, he's going pikes, okay. Steel trap straight away as well, very nice. Very well macroed. And he's just going to go straight to nuke the tower. The only problem with pikes is that dogs and the tower fire will kill them very fast. But you do have your free Uhlans to sort of deal with that. That's kind of why players make DOPS instead of pikes, just because they can defend themselves from dogs really easily. Okay, so Lavendar isn't... He's not sending Vils forward yet. He's probably just gonna... Oh no, he is.
Hola.
Could be to herd, could be for Iraqs, but... he's going back, yeah. Yeah, okay. He sees the pikes, he knows Mini's gonna nuke the tower, and he's just gonna sack it, build his stuff in base. And he's going for 10 pikes, actually. Or 9, because he's popped. Maybe overkill? I think he just wants to ship coin here. He's going to go for wood, but... I think you just want to age as fast as possible. You're not getting coin anytime soon as Germany. So he's either going to stay age 2 a bit longer, maybe just gather straight to age. Either way, I imagine the first thing he's going to go for is this TP. Yep, heading straight there. Lavendar is doing everything standard so far. Coin, wood, Vils. And going rods. Maybe you'd want to do like a batch of musks here to defend from the pikes more easily, but rods are fine too. They're your fortress composition that you're going to upgrade, so may as well get them started as soon as possible. He's using his Explorer to just protect his pikes basically, check if there's anything coming his way. Oh, and I missed this, but he killed the Spanish explorer in the middle of the map too, which is very nice. No dogs or anything coming from him anytime soon. And yeah, it looks like he's just gathering straight to age with the wood. Which I guess is okay, because he has 2 mines in base. Tin mines though, so I think they actually might have... Yeah, less coin. So we got a bit of a better value shipment in the 700 wood, and it's just going to gather to age. Though he's going to be quite a bit slower than he would have been. So he's killed a tower, and he's killed a TP for the cost of training pikes. Which is... It seems good on paper, but at the same time, this is like a lot of res worth of units that just aren't going to be useful at all in Age 3, really. But it's also really nice to get that mid-map tower out of the way. Get any pressure off your back. Keeping Toulons here. This is really nice because Lavendar, yeah, he's so low on hunts. And so he either goes here, which is really exposed, or he goes for the one on the sort of peninsular arm, whatever you call it. And there's just Toulons waiting for him. Ah, meanwhile, rods are just going to destroy all of these. Kill the explorer too. He gets away with 4. 1 low HP, whatever. Those units weren't going to be very useful anyway, but would have been nice to keep them alive. But at the same time, very hard to escape from 6-speed rods. And Lavendar's making some skirms already, and I did not check his shipment. Okay, Spanish gold. Yeah, again, this is like meta for 2 years or whatever now, as Spain in this matchup, and a lot of matchups just full greed FF, and 1k wood, I'm guessing. Yeah, there it is. Mini is training some wounds, which is a bit interesting. I mean, it's kind of counter-metering what Lavendar's doing, the classic double rack stuff, but he also has free Huss, which is still alive, so you kind of do want some war wagons. He's got pikes, he's got minutemen he can call, but... Lavendar just idling a bit and going back. He's gone for a pretty greedy build, so he doesn't feel the need to really right-click. Are these the same Toulons as there? I guess they are. Going for a little raid here, but getting scared off by the skirms. And Lavendar's out here gathering already. So you can see that hunt issue I was talking about earlier is already coming into effect. I'm going to lose a Vil here. Probably. Yes, but the Ulan's going to die. Oh no, he gets it away. Maybe it dies, I don't know. Mini's really good at this stuff, just having a couple of units all over the place. A bit of a multitasker, you could say. And he's got his pikes down here too. Interesting, I wonder if he could go for like a bait on the 4 Huss. Maybe. Okay, so Lavendar just doing more of the same. Double racks, skirm rod, getting his upgrade in nice and early. Catching this ass, that's what I was talking about. So he's going to get some decent value out of these pikes after all. Oh, at least 1 Huss. I mean, you got to be happy with that, right? 4 pikes. But now they're going to die. So he gets 2 Huss. And in the meantime, he is making more skirms and more Rulans. Okay, now it makes sense because he was going for Black Riders. That was a bit silly of me to have missed that. But yeah, Black Riders are really nice, basically just because you can kite much easier than war wagons. It's just like playing Germany, like it's France, basically. Skirms, goons. And he's also shipping war wagons. So I guess he's quite scared of either Lancers or Falks coming soon. Otherwise he'd just go for more skirms. 1k wood or something, I don't know. But it looks like he wants to take a fight pretty soon. Meanwhile, Spain shipping rods to follow up that. Makes sense. His shipment curve isn't as good as it could be as he lost his TP and everything. So Spanish gold not quite as high value as it could be. No Vedulans yet. I guess he hasn't made that many. Oh, okay, no, I'm blind. I'm completely blind. Okay, the texture was just screwing with me. That is Vedulans. And let's compare the Skirm War. 25 to 17, yeah, okay. Spain can get the Skirm advantage pretty easily, actually, when they go double racks, even though they have no Skirm shipments. And it's very hard to contest that with your paper Uhlans when they have rods to just smash in with 6 speed anytime they like. Yeah, Lavendar just taking good trades while Mini retreats here. Although all this time the score is looking quite good for Mini, but that can flip on its head quite easily in this matchup. Again, it's very hard to take a fight. This is going pretty even, but the rod count's actually getting quite low, but Mini doesn't have a ton of Uhlans, so the skirms could just kind of pick stuff off. Yeah, and he's got so many, oh my god. 40 skirms. And he's shipping more rods, yeah, that's good. Those should probably be rods queued though, like he has such a massive skirm advantage. Yeah, okay, he cancels them and queues rods. Nice. He's going to have to walk a long way for hunters now. Whereas Mini kind of already set up for like the next few minutes in terms of macro, just apart from these vills walking. Although this mine, like these tin mines just get eaten by Germany, so he's going to have to move quite some distance after this one's out. Meanwhile, Lavendar's pushing the center again. Macro is quite a bit coin heavy, especially with Spanish gold. He really needs to get on hunts. And let's see what he ships here. This is, yeah, okay, going for the Falcons. So one thing to say about Falcons is it's sort of a big map with kind of a bit of runaround potential, let's say. So while the Falcons do make his army really, really hard to right click, it also leaves him a bit prone to just Mini just, you know, like moving his army all the way down this way, outmaneuvering, whatever. He is dealing with raids quite well though. Just got rods in position. They're just such a good unit to deal with raids because unlike goons, you can just AFK them. You don't have to kite or anything. And they'll just snare and catch anything. So let's see what he does with the Falcons. He might push, he might just camp his resources. I mean, he's got a very scary army, but it's still going to be very hard to take a fight. And the scores have evened up quite a bit. Just that Spanish gold and I think good trades with the skirms doing work for him. He's going to set up his Falcons. Keep his rods in position. Uhlans getting some very nice swings. Looks like he just tried to do a little flip with his army, and it worked quite well. Lots of Uhlans melting. And Mini just can't take this, he has to back off. And where do you go from here as Germany? You ship 8 Uhlans, but Lavendar's probably just going to reinforce with more rods. Still has the skirm advantage, still has his Falcons alive. And his anti-cap mass is still looking pretty healthy. More nice volleys. Lavendar just has the range advantage on all fronts right now. Not only does he have the Falcons, but he has 41 skirms to 21 skirms, which is really huge. And like if you try to go in with Uhlans, especially non-cav combat Uhlans, you'll just lose like 2 before they even connect, and it's very painful. So now is when Mini might try to start abusing mobility a little bit. He's lost most of his Black Riders already, which is a bit sad. They haven't really had an opportunity to do anything. They will now. Lavendar's shipping lancers just because he doesn't have much else. Maybe infantry combat for his rods would be better here than the lancers, but probably breaks even. Doesn't matter too much. It makes his composition like even harder to deal with because you have to snipe the cannons with your ranged cav, but while you're doing that, you also have nothing to DPS the lancers. And this tiny mass is going to take a long time to snipe the falcons. So yeah, Mini is doing what he can. Abusing mobility. These things don't kill vills very quickly, so Lavendar can respond to that pretty fine. And it looks like he's just going to move his vills with his army now, just to the mid-map res patches. Catching this, already in position. Pretty nice. Although, Mini's going to pick them up because he's moved his whole army here now. Ooh, this is, looks like Lavendar's forgot about his falcons. That's huge. Mini's forgotten about them too because he's not noticing. He's just AFKing. Now he notices. And that's 2 free falcons for Mini, which is unbelievably huge. Wow. And Lavendar is killing some Uhlans in the meantime, but pretty sure you'd rather have your 2 falcons alive. So that might be a classic case of too many control groups and you're just spam clicking all of them around the map and you just forget to move your falcon one with the rest of your army for 1 click and Mini punishes it. He's also going to do some more raiding. I think he saw those vills because he had, yeah, maybe he saw them with the house. So he's just running his Uhlans all over the map. Looks like he killed a vill with his little ranged cav mass too, and he's training pikes now. I guess he's just stacking some wood. I'm not sure what he's going to do with pikes. They're not even useful to block rods at this point, really. Even the rods kill them quickly. I mean, if you wanted to block it, you'd rather have dobs, but... And they're going to soak a tiny bit of melee damage here. This looks like a very good fight for Lavendar, though. Yeah, just pull the rods back. Need to keep them alive. But the score's looking quite good for Mini now. I feel like this has paid off, like, hugely, his little run around. And all the rods are dying. So, all of a sudden, Lavendar's unkillable army is looking very killable. He's going to come back with these Uhlans, Minutemen just sort of killing the Lancers along with his massive skirm mass. And yeah. Just like that, it's now Mini's game. No anti-cav left. Gonna train some dogs maybe, but no, not gonna do anything. And Mini can go Jaegers now, he's stacking coin. Yeah. That free Falc pickup and then Lavendar overcommitting, getting raided. Looking really nice for Mini. Check the corner of the map, I think I see a crossbow. No crossbows. But that is GG. Really nice. Just, Lavendar had the army advantage, so Mini just ran him around. Abused mobility. And then finally, when he overcommitted, just went for the surround with the better composition and won. But I think, like, ultimately, the 2 Falc AFK was really huge. That was, like, pretty nice for Mini. So that is 2-0 for Mini and the big bigs. Let's go to game 3. Okay, wait, let's just pause, hide that. Oh yeah, I think I completely forgot the more info thing last game, didn't I? Sorry about that. I need to wait for it to appear. However that works. Alright, so we have Aztec versus Japan on this map. So this is quite interesting because I don't think either player, like, plays these civs at all. But I think Lavendar sort of suffers from a pretty small civ pool. And so he's just trying to pick up Japan, like, situationally to use in the sort of, like, map matchup, whatever, where he thinks he can just abuse it to the max. And meanwhile, Mini started playing Aztec about 3 days ago. And I think he just feels it's a really good counter to Japan, which it is, mostly. Okay, let's... Where is this more info thing? How does it work? There we go. Okay, it appeared. Lovely. Yeah, no, it just wasn't... Was it always there? I feel like I was missing it. Anyway, so they're both going to this left side of the map, picking up llamas. Looks like Lavendar's giving up on that kind of early to go for this treasure. 70 food is... Like, any food is always nice for Japan, just because you don't age at like a set vil time. You place a wonder, so it's always going to make you that little bit faster. And Mini is training another scout? No, he cancelled it, okay. Maybe that was just a hotkey, like, mix-up or something. I know, like, Eagle Scout is, like, default to S, and sometimes you have S as, like, convert, or however you pronounce that Kuehik Ascension thing. But anyway, XP. Nice, but not that huge at the moment. He's already got his vills in queue. Lavendar picking up the last llamas, it looks like. Shrine here, which is interesting, kind of. Like, sometimes Japan, I think, in this matchup, you just want to have every single shrine, like, all 4 that you make, just behind your base, basically, because if Aztec just starts Pumas, this is just tons of XP for him. Let's turn Fog of War on. Yeah, pretty standard scouting pattern for this map. Straight for the llamas, and you move over to this side. Maybe pick up a treasure or 2 in the middle. Because the really good treasures usually spawn on this side. So yeah, we've got 120 wood, which he can't pick up straight away, but he can convert one of these guys, which is just 40 extra attack in H1, which is very nice. And he's converting this rifleman, which is even better because I think it has more range. Same attack. Japan's getting some cows, which is not that huge, because he's going to have like plenty of stuff to task to his in-base shrines already, but it's just a nice little something for later. Mini is very low HP now. But I think he will be going up with, yeah, he's going up with fast age, so he's going to get all that shadow tech HP pretty quick. So standard stuff from Aztec so far, nothing weird like Skull Knights or the Warhard Age up. I should probably check their decks. Yeah, nothing that weird, just CM, which is normal versus Aztec. And yeah, this is very normal too. Just your standard full age 2 stack. This in age 1 instead of, I don't know, like exotic hardwoods. This is pretty nice though. Because you run out of shipments with Aztec quite quickly. And like spamming 600 coin, especially when you don't like want to train Pumas even, is quite awkward. So yeah, sending 3 vills to build the war hut, which he chopped for. Very standard. Hasn't shipped anything yet. I wonder what he's got to go for. Yeah. So I was going to say it's going to be wood or warrior priest, and it looks like he's going for wood for a very standard rush. Meanwhile, Lavendar building this right behind his base. Smart. This hunt, like, this is a really awkward thing about playing Japan with the Teshugu right now, is DE hunts just, like, they will run away from it, and then they won't walk towards it. But luckily he's got a ton of livestock that he can just instantly task to it, so that's not going to be an issue this game. Wall going up. Pretty normal versus Aztec once again. And let's see what minimoult starts with. Looks like it's going to be Pumas with this macro. Maybe he's like seen this shrine already and he knows there's some stuff he can siege before he goes in for the right click. Because if Japan builds literally nothing outside their base, going for Pumas can feel a bit useless. But yeah, he'll have a couple of things to siege, it looks like. This is really nice, just keeping this around. It's going to die, but that's just really nice information to know he's shrining over there. And what I really should have done is checked Lavendar's first card, which is Kami. And that is definitely weird versus Aztecs, I would say, because I think that's just what Aztec wants, right? Is like, they don't have to right-click your base, they don't have to overcommit, they just have to send their Pumas everywhere on the map and pick up, like, so much free XP with their Explorer. Just get so many shipments and kind of just do whatever they want from there. Looks like he only got 3 Pumas out, unless the other 2 are somewhere else. No, okay, 3 military pop. Maybe he didn't have enough food. He's going to deny this. Yeah, I think this maybe speaks a little to Lavendar's inexperience with Japan. He's just sort of just going for the one build that he kind of knows, which is full Kami and try not to die, which is respectable, but maybe not the best way to play versus Aztecs. Could still work for sure, though. And meanwhile, Mini, I think he shipped Warrior Priest second. Yes, he did. Okay. You can kind of go like the other way around for this, but the difference, it really isn't huge, especially since he had that XP treasure. And he's going to go straight for dancing, which I think I like, because like he doesn't need to spam shipments right now. If he was spamming shipments, it would just be like unit shipments, but there's 2 layers of walls, and he just is perfectly happy sieging shrines. Sending coyotes over here, maybe he picks up the Explorer, or at the very least denies more shrining if he sees it. 5 vills next, yeah. So he's just going for the contain and just boom a little yourself, which should work quite well against what Lavendar is doing. Even picking up this vill maybe, if he sees it. He's gonna AFK onto it. Maybe it will escape, maybe not. Looks like it's gonna die actually. That's a very nice little pickup. Looks like he finished that shrine and just lost a little bit of HP on his Explorer and pikes for it. Yeah, one thing I should check is... I'm not sure what this little grid means, but I'm trying to check if he has the tech from the fire pit. Gives him more XP. I'm imagining he does, because I have faith. But yeah, he really should have that right now. And yeah, Lavendar going for as much greed as he can possibly get away with. One thing it's nice that he hasn't done is like shift blind CM. I know like Japan players will definitely do that sometimes, but blind CM would have been awful here. Done absolutely nothing. So the livestock actually is quite nice now because he's able to put a lot of those Kami shrines in very safe positions. Yeah, like I said, Mini I think is just very happy with what's happening right now. Sieging shrines. Maybe he's overmaking pikes a bit, because like this is already enough to go around sieging. And like Japan's just going to go full infantry for a long time, so pikes won't be that useful. But, I mean, just look at the map, like, look where the red is on the mini-map. He's super contained right now. Still managing, like, a kind of decent pop, but look, he's already building shrines with, like, no animals on them, so... He is walling a lot. So I think what Mini wants to do is once he's finished his Warrior Priest boom, which he will soon, is just ship coin and go H3 and make Arrow Knights and just stack all these really nice unit ups and just slow roll Japan. Because pushing into 3 layers of walls is no fun. Looks like he's setting up a little bit of a trap here, pushing into a corner, but Lavendar's pushing in to respond, and he's just hiding all these coyotes. Maybe being a bit slow with them. If he'd like flanked around that side, he could have picked up this entire mass almost. Either way though, he clears both shrines here, which again, he's just keeping that contain really tight. What he could almost do as well is like just wall here. It's so cheap and just does so much for you. But Lavendar has units right there at the moment, so not really an option yet. In the meantime, Coyote Combat. Like, I don't know, like, you're just not going to be able to do much at the moment. Lavendar's walling more. He's really just... Okay, so he's trying to age as well. This just isn't like the sort of army yet that can just brute force through 3 layers of walls and like 20 Yumis behind and right click. Maybe it will be soon. He's going to train a lot more units. Maybe he's going to go for the TC big button since he's popped and stacking food. Let me just check his upgrades. And yeah, so he has that first wood upgrade, which is kind of expensive, but it's really nice to fit that in early when you can. Gonna keep on sieging shrines. Lavendar's gonna take some free shots. Coyote is pretty tanky now, though. Yeah, just gonna back off. And really hope that Lavendar overextends probably, but he's not. He's gonna go back. And so this is actually looking kind of good for Lavendar, I want to say. His Cami Boom's been contained super hard, but like he's going to go age 3. He's gotten away with 4 vills. He's going to just tech up his units and hide behind walls, and meanwhile Mini is going to be stuck in age 2, it looks like. Though this army is getting scary now, like this is starting to look like the sort of army that can just brute force its way through 3 layers of walls, like I said. Which is exactly what he's going to do. Gonna trade a bit with his mace just to let his other units siege. And yeah, so if there's like Coyote Combat and like full war dance, if he gets on top of these Yumis, they're just gonna be dead. But Lavendar's gonna hit up with still some walls to retreat to, still some Minutemen to pop. The only problem Japan sort of has is that they don't really have like an amazing power shipment to like hold this sort of push. They don't have 2 Falcons or anything amazing like that. One thing that actually would be good is intervention, because you get like 10 or something shadow teched clubs, although he's still in Port Consulate, but he doesn't have that. Instead he's got like 7 villages, 1k wood, 1k coin, which I'm not a massive fan of in a Japan deck, but I'm not a great Japan player, so I'm not going to judge. Getting some more free value here, but again, these Coyotes are pretty jacked, so if he can get in... And Lavendar hasn't even teched any units yet, he's doing it now. But... yeah, this could be brutal. He's going to pop his Minutemen as soon as possible, both batches, I imagine. Still getting more free value, he can go behind these walls, so... he's just going to run as long as he can. And this is why I think it would have been easier for Mini to just age. Because Lavendar is really just playing to his strengths, I'd say. As the Civ, that is. These are popping in quite a bad spot, and he's still got like a decent amount of melee stuff on these Yumis, so... not awful for Lavendar, but the Coyotes are kind of melting. He's getting back behind the wall. They're going to have to path around, although they do get through this gap, which is very nice for Mini. But now they're disciplined and have the Golden Pavilion. They're just doing so much DPS that they can even just kill these Coyotes, kinda. And yeah, the Coyotes are going to drop first. And let's check Mini's reinforcements. Getting decent reinforcements. But maybe not necessarily enough to keep pushing here. Lavendar's going to have another shipment soon. Yeah, 9 Yumis. I like this, just going full Yumis. The Ashi didn't work out, so let's stick with what we know. And in the meantime, this is really nice. He's reshrining a bit on this side. Still pretty contained, but he's getting his pop back up a bit. Which is always worthwhile with Cami. And still Port Consulate. Only now just finally getting rid of it. And now it's looking really good for Japan. He's got a solid tech advantage, probably, yeah, still a bit of an eco advantage, I'd say. He's gonna re-wall. And what does Aztec do? Calls GG. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just a long way from aging. And Lavendar takes that game 2. Game 3, I mean. Let's just check the res gathered. Yeah, so Lavendar was like losing shrines this whole time, so like this is a pretty decent res line for Aztec versus Japan, but in the end, just trying to push into like 3 layers of walls or whatever is just really awkward. So Lavendar kind of cheesing out a victory there with a civ that I don't think he's too familiar with, which always feels good. Bringing the score up to 1-2. Ah, yeah, Don, this mic picks up a lot, I think, so sorry if you're getting a lot of breathing noises. That's got to be annoying. I don't know how to change my settings. I could just turn the volume down a bit, but I don't think that's going to help. I've got more notifications. You need to switch perspectives. Oh, I think Minnie's talking about the extra pop-up spec info. Anyway, where am I going? Game 4. Okay, so we have Minnie going Brit again.
Yes.
It's not his main civ, but it's a civ I feel he's pretty comfortable with. And I think he also thinks it's quite strong, and this is usually a pretty decent map for Brit. Just because you can get quite a lot of hunt and base. I'll just check the hunts quickly, actually. Yeah, you can sort of get this one, definitely get this one. Well, I'm looking at, I know I am looking at Brit, and maybe get this one. That's pretty decent for Brit. Russia's, if anything, looking a bit better, but this is kind of misleading because D hunts, like, this hunt could be over here within the next 2 minutes. You never know. And both of them, yeah, they know the map pretty well. They're going straight up here to get the buffaloes that spawn basically just along this river. Wait, where's Lavendar's Explorer? Okay, he's going mid-map. It also, like, it makes sense either way, because there's good treasures pretty much everywhere in this map. I'll just check without the Fog of War. Yeah, so you got, like, a big coin up here. This is actually a bit bare. Like, sometimes you get, like, 80 wood, 100 food, and, like, another 80 wood up here. Sometimes the 80 wood spawns down here. Yeah, there it is. And, yeah, also an 100 food. Pop treasure. I mean, sometimes there's bigger treasures on this map. This is still pretty good, though. Like, you're just happy pretty much no matter which direction you go in. You're always going to find something good. Looks like Lavendar did a slightly worse job of picking up the buffaloes. Still got a couple up there, up for grabs. And he might lose his... No, he's just going to place it here. Not really like a huge victory for Minnie, but I guess you're happy that like that's not being placed somewhere where it's going to give him useful line of sight. But it doesn't even provide that much line of sight anymore, so... Might have even been a waste of time to chase it, instead of picking up treasures. So Minnie... sorry, is going for a 16 vil, double mana, pretty standard. Sometimes he chops for a third mana, but not doing that this game. No wood treasure or anything, so... And no reason to really like slow your age versus Russia. Going for an extra vil, which maybe he would have preferred to eat the buffalo and go for 16, but this is probably fine too. Tower, very standard versus Russia, extra defense and all that. And Lavendar, I would also like to see him eat one of these buffalo, especially since his vills are kind of milling around with no hunts to go to, because he hasn't herded quite as well as he should have. I think he definitely needs to eat that. It's a bit late now, though. Pick up 80 wood, though, which is nice. Get his blockhouse early and maybe a market as well in transition. And Mini's just walking around up here, not taking many treasures. Actually, not really amazing treasures spawned up here this time. He's just going to find stuff like pop, coin, and whatever this thing is. I don't think anyone has ever taken this treasure, ever. And I also might find 100 food, which is always going to be nice for Russia. Don't know if he'll get it, because Mini is kind of in the area and has it scouted, so might be a point of contention. Let's look for the blockhouse villas. There they are. Right on time. He's building it before he builds a market. This is like kind of one of the areas where Russia players differ. I'm not really too sure myself. Sometimes they build a market first, sometimes they build a market after. Sometimes they even wait till like 700 wood or their age up wood to build a market. And I think he's just going for like the fastest rush possible if he's skipping a market altogether. So Mini's going to age up quite a bit earlier. Just standard Brit stuff, just put his rickshaw right in front of the blockhouse. Not too much line of sight, but just kind of like screwing with its pathing a bit. I mean, it's the best value you can get out of this, because you've got all the wood you want in base anyway. Nice building placement. Bit late on herding this one. I mean, that's probably just going to wander off before he can really herd it in, but getting the back one in and this one in nicely, putting the outpost in so he can garrison. On top of that hunt. Mining already, so he's going for a stable start. I think he's probably going to delay steel traps just so he can get his huss out. And meanwhile, Lavendar's just going for the stock standard 5 costs, 5 musk, rush. Which is what you want versus a stable start. Mini shipping wood first, more standard stuff. He might steal traps off this actually. I don't know if place of mines this early makes sense. Like I think you really want that food to get as many huss out as you can. It's gonna eat the buffaloes, but that'll maybe help. Just idling a bit, trying to avoid the outpost fire, so he goes for the top angle. And yeah, going the same way with his Cossacks. Just doing a little bit of poking, idling. Mini getting some nice value with his Explorer. Just being annoying. Being very efficient with his Vil garrison. And yeah, it feels really awkward to try to commit to this as Russia. The double fire. And the Huss just snaring, maybe Minutemen. And he's going to go straight for the raid, which is classic minimoult stuff. Just avoiding the line of sight. And it looks like Russia is going for a second blockhouse straight away with his age up wood. Usually it's either that or let's say like a TP. But this is just like the really safe way to go about it. And it looks like he added a market, but has not teched anything yet. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah, okay, tech show up for Mini here, so he hasn't gotten anything from his market yet. So yeah, Lavendar didn't really do much with his rush, but at the same time he didn't like take much damage to his mass, so probably pretty even, all things considered. Maybe a bit better for Brit. Going longbows this early is definitely interesting, a bit unstandard, but I think it makes sense. It just is, he's going to be defending for like the next little while, so pulling that bill to save it, very nice, and getting his great coats. Meanwhile, Lavendar still has no market decks. So Mini's just going to be up like quite a bit in eco for quite a while. He's going to make it hard for Lavendar to push in by trading longbows. And he's just going to raid
Yes.
because he has more cav. Like if these two fight and Lavendar doesn't have his other units, Mini just wins and then goes to raid more. Lavendar has fixed his herding though in the meantime. This is pretty good. This is what you want to do to D hunts, just kill them all as soon as they're near your TC. Don't give them the opportunity to run away. And yeah, more cav. He can posture with these Cossacks, but he can't take this fight unless he has his Minutemen or Musks behind. Going for some poking in the meantime, just losing units to longbows, I think. Yep. Good idling, gonna pick up a Vil. Like, even with Minutemen, honestly, he can just fight this, I think, and kill all the Cossacks. Yeah, he's turning around. And Lavendar doesn't even have the coin for Minutemen. He'd have to trade if he wanted to do that. But Mini's playing it safe-ish. Doesn't want to overcommit. And Lavendar's almost just relying on the threat of Minutemen here. He knows that he can just sort of posture a bit, go back, and Mini will be afraid to overcommit. Even though he can't actually call Minutemen. Ah, now they fight though, and yeah, like I said, this is just so great for Mini. Russia's just running around the map, losing Cossacks, losing Vils, idling, while Brit is on 100 mana pop already, and aging straight away. And I don't think Lavendar's going to be able to punish this age up. He's getting some nice swings,
Ready.
but the Huss are all going to get away. This thing is not going to snare for long. And yeah, so Russia is like, doesn't have a mass to like timing this age up. Not really, like not with Minutemen. He can't really push into this yet. And he also is not close to aging up himself. And doesn't even have steel traps yet. So I would say this is, oh well, he's getting it now, but this is looking really good for Brit right now. And you can sort of see it in the score. Russia underscores obviously, Brit overscores a bit, but like you're still happy with this score cap as Brit, for sure. He's getting low on hunts, but if he herds this one in, like, he'll have access to this as soon as he holds the timing or whatever. Okay, yeah. And so Lavendar definitely is going for the stage 2 timing route. Mini going back into the raid, but Lavendar nicely having a few musks. But at the same time, that just makes his timing weaker, so it's not a complete victory for him.
Ready.
And again, with like Minutemen and the 7 longbows. Wait, did I just completely misread this and Mini isn't aging? I think I did. Yeah, he just made more Huss and more Musks and isn't aging at all. I completely, I saw him like stacking 1k food and I saw the coin on the floor and I'm just like, yeah, he's gonna age. But he's not, he's going for a timing instead. And raiding in the meantime, but getting picked up. So actually I was saying this is looking really great for Mini because I thought his age up was already in queue, but it's actually not looking that great for him because he's going to try and break a blockhouse, double blockhouse, pure musks with like a little bit of musk huss. So I take back everything I said. This is like an even game. Yeah, Sensei, sorry about that.
Yes.
First time.
Commandment.
But at the same time, like, aging was the right call, I think. For sure, he had him, like, pinned up in base. There were no Cossacks or anything to push. Still had a bit of food. Perfectly macroed to age, but he wants to play it safe, and I can respect that. But playing it safe can kind of just get you in this situation where Russia just keeps on scaling with their better age 2 stuff, or slightly better age 2 stuff at least, and you really struggle to break the forward position. Dealing with the raid nicely. This is a decent trade for Mini though. And I like that he's got like a nice little massive longbows. Some Brit players really hate longbows and will just make pure musk huss no matter what against Russia, but like he doesn't have a ton of Cossacks. Although now all his other stuff's melted, but I think a few longbows in the back are definitely nice.
I may not steer.
That nice little new formation feature. and more raiding. So, even trade, but, you know, Russia's kind of happy with an even trade. As long as Brit is staying H2 and not breaking their blockhouse. So now that Mini like can't age and can't get a tech advantage, this is basically how he wins the game. Just killing a ton of Vils, running around with his better cav mass. And then just getting out on the hunts on the sides, not letting Russia raid him, and then eventually winning a fight with a much better mass. Lavendar's getting a bit of a cav mass of his own now though. If he brings the shipment of 4, oh, it came at the blockhouse. So actually this is good for Mini. And yeah, Mini's still up a bit in eco. Wait. One sec. Was that Mini losing Vils, or do I have the colours the wrong way? Oh no, that's military, never mind. I'm very dumb. And Lavendar is just holding this. These longbows are like trading really nicely here, but longbows don't have siege, and they're not going to be able to break the blockhouses. And he's got more Cossacks coming. Mini is still solidly ahead in eco though. And I think here as Mini is where you just want to stop training longbows. Like this is all the longbows you're ever going to need for quite a while. I think you should just reinforce with Muscuss. Pikes as well. Yeah, that's fair for the macro. They give extra siege as well. Probably a good decision, so he can just get full Huss batches instead of spending his coin on Musks. And Lavendar's keeping his blockhouses alive here, but I think this trade is just really good for Mini. Shipping Musks just to complete the timing. Hope he remembers about those.
Ready.
And yeah, going on to the next blockhouse. Yeah, this is just not enough Musks to DPS. Mini's getting, look at those reinforcements, wow. Meanwhile, Lavendar, 5 Musks, 5 cost maybe, and all of a sudden, Mini's broken the blockhouse. He's going to move on to the stable. Lavendar has no wood to rebuild. Gonna run out of hunts soon. And it looks really good for Brit.
Ready.
Still ahead on eco, massively ahead on army. Just really well played from Mini, just tying up units with the raids, and meanwhile just taking great trades with good longbow micro on the front. And Lavendar, like, maybe prepared for, like, pure Muscuss. Like, composition-wise, he just had a ton of Musks and, like, not many Strelic Cossack, so... Mini even working the composition to his favour pretty well. Trying to rebuild blockhouses here, but they're just going to get picked up as soon as they're built. Another one in base, and when you're building your blockhouses in base as Russia, you have often just lost the game. Chopping a lot of wood, because he doesn't have that many hunts and also needs blockhouses. This is going to go down before the Musks even get out. Oh, well, maybe you got one batch out. And all of a sudden, it looks like game over. Mini playing that really well. I was sure he was going to age, and then I thought it was bad that he didn't, but he's really making it work.
Commandment.
And he's just gonna, yeah, slow push. Lavendar's slowly catching up on Vils, actually, and sneaking some up here to hunt. But he doesn't even have Boyers in. Whereas Brit doesn't have upgrades either, but he is getting upgrades now, and they're like a billion Huss with Cav HP, and like you don't even have Boyers. He's even raiding, catching this immediately. Really nice. I think he might have just had those in position to stop side bills. That's another thing Mini's really good at. And Russia's just completely penned in his base now. Just nothing going for him. Scores almost getting doubled. Game is probably going to end soon. Meanwhile, yeah, Mini just flooding a billion upgraded Huss. Great eco, great macro, out on the map hunting. Doesn't even have to worry about raids really, just because he's got so much more cav than Lavendar does. Lost a Huss here, escaped with the other one. I think he killed like 4 vills or something. Yeah. Things are looking pretty great for the bigs. Yeah, spamming 5 blockhouses in base. I mean, this could work if he had like 5 hunts behind his TC, but he doesn't. Lots of idols. Minutemen, not going to do anything. Getting a really nice raid, but look, yeah, Mini's just pulling all his vills towards his army because he knows this is all that really matters. Pikes musk sieging while longbows do DPS, Huss, tank and snare. Catching this with more Huss, nice. Vill kills. Maybe he was actually trading like kind of poorly here under all this blockhouse fire, but I don't think he cares. Still more than doubling score. Lavendar is shipping spice trade for 3 vills on food just because he's got nothing to send. I mean, they'll help him gather these 3 exposed berry bushes. Is this the final game of the series? No, I think this is game 4? I want to say it's game 4. Yeah.
Ready.
And yeah, me just getting further out onto the map. Oh, and he is aging out. Yeah, this is... So, I mean, he's built like... Lavendar's built a ton of blockhouses in base and it's just kind of turtle and somehow win. So, Mini's going for the easiest, safest response to that, which is just age. And of course, GG. Definitely fair. There's not really any coming back from this. And I'm kind of waiting for the resign. There we go. Alright. So just yeah, nice victory from Mini. Just kind of outmaneuvering with his army and getting good trades with better units. Russia suffering from its typical can't ever win a fight syndrome. Yeah, hitting some pretty nice timings. Trading really well. Like that was like a big longbow trade, I would say. And just getting massive remass because he's Brit and he has a billion bills. Okay. Final game, it's a play all 5, so they just play them no matter what, even though this in a best of 5 Mini would have won already. Because all that really matters is the points. 1 for each game. And, okay.
Correcto.
So Lavendar's in really comfortable territory now, I'd say, picking port. Probably, maybe along with Russia, his main civ, I would say.
¿Cuál es su comando?
And Mini going Spain, which I think is considered a pretty reasonable counter pick to ports. And both have ATP potential in this map, so we'll just have to see what deck they go with.
¿Cuál es su comando?
Yeah, so Mini, it looks like already is saving his shipment. I mean, saving his wood, not going for an H1 TP, which doesn't mean ATP necessarily, but definitely could. Lavendar going for this straight away. This is very nice against Spain. It means if he tries to deny your TP or whatever with his one war dog, you can just kite him with this dude. Yeah, so Mini's just going treasure hunting, looks like. Ah, so, but if he picks this up, he can really, just chase Port's Explorer with that. But you know, this guy counters this guy, so... Lavendar basically has some insurance for H1. Nice herding this time. Just dead hunts under TC. Same for Mini pretty much. And Mini is going ATP. He's going... Okay. He's going ATP before 3 settlers, which is not standard, but as you can see from this deck, it looks like a little bit of a logistician kind of play. So we're definitely going to see something a little weird out of Mini this game. Lavendar meanwhile also picking an ATP deck. Not shipping ATP yet though. Which might be a good call actually. Oh, well he is shipping it now. But I was going to say, like, if Mini ships it literally first card and is able to pick up like 3 TPs before Port can pick up 1, you feel pretty bad about shipping ATP as board. Does it say which map this is anywhere? This is Mexico, formerly known as Arizona, I think, and that just reminded me to switch on more info. There we go. Yeah, so this guy does counter the Spearman, but he also only has 4 speed, I think, so Mini can just chase him down and kill him straight away. And this feels super bad as Port. Spain's just got these 2 guys, which... This can just kill your Explorer before you build a single ATP, and did he? Yeah, he cancelled ATP. That's smart, because there's no way he's going to build those with Explorer. He'd have to send like 3 Vills, which would be very painful. But for the meantime, he's just going to run away and do a completely different build, I guess. Getting a market. I don't really know how other Port builds work, but we'll just wait and see. Meanwhile, Mini going up with the... Yeah, there it is, the Logistician. Looks like he queued the other one just on muscle memory, but remembered to cancel it straight away. He's going to kill this Explorer and not even lose the Huaminka in the process, it looks like. It's like he might be sending this Vil forward to either herd or start on an ATP. Probably going to do both. And yeah, he's just got free reign of the trade line. Lavendar, on the other hand, has 2 shipments stacked, so I think he'll probably be going for some sort of crate-based timing, maybe a naked FF, but doesn't seem like what you want to do when Spain's just picking up all the TPs. Oh, and yeah, I need to hide that. Oopsie. And Mini, I think you want to, yes, so he's shipping this to time it like perfectly with the Logistician getting completed, meaning he'll get those extra resources direct deposited as soon as the 3 Vills gets in. And me just picking up all the TPs for free. Only like didn't even need to send a Vil. And yeah, looks like Lavendar's doing the forward base, crate base timing, like I was saying. Wood first means he might start pikes, I guess, or just use it for infrastructure. Getting a bit of damage on the TC, but not going to really do much. And it's nice having your like TC literally on top of the thing that you're trying to contest. Makes it very hard for Mini to commit to defending it. Okay, he's going for must straight away, so he was just using the wood for infrastructure and stuff, at least at first. And yeah, 11 musks before Mini will have any units, it looks like. Mini's dropping a Rax now, but kind of late. Probably going to be going for some musks of his own, if not crossbows. Taking Stagecoach straight away, which is definitely good, but Lavendar might just take out this TP very early and start getting the benefit from it as well. Actually, he's not going for the TP, which, yeah, also makes sense because it's kind of tanky and kind of painful to siege with not very many units, and if he can just take down this Rax before units pop, look at that, Mini's popping Minutemen straight away. And Lavendar's just getting out of there, picking up his Explorer, maybe sacking his Explorer to get away, or maybe trying to pull it and save it. Probably definitely wants to save it so he can rebuild TPs. And Mini's going for the crate spam. I think he shipped wood at least once. I'm not sure if it shows up multiple times, if it's an infinite shipment. But he shipped it at least once. And Mini actually getting a really nice trap here with his Minutemen this early. But they've decayed a bit, so this isn't too bad for him, but he loses his Explorer again. And Mini just completely saves his Rax and his batches, so the Minutemen was probably worth it, for sure. And he's just going for more crate spam. Double Rax. Looks like he's definitely prepared this build. I think this is something similar, if not the same thing that Hazard did against Mido on like High Plains in some recent tournament series, which I don't really remember, but very similar, just staying age 2 and spamming a billion musks with Stagecoach and Logistician. And also, yeah, Unction later for that. If you've got like, you know, 50, 60 musks, just get an extra, what is it, like 70% attack or something? Not bad. So Lavendar's going to try and start sieging this, but I mean, he's just going to poke, and he's not going to get it down anytime soon, I don't think. Unless he maybe garrisons in the TC and like sieges from this angle. He's actually shipping a Furrier. Just going full spam Age 1 shipments of Logistician. Getting pretty decent musk batches. Only a little behind in Vil count and has 4 TP stage. And Lavendar's shipping crossbows, which I think makes sense for sure. You really need to win this fight and get this TP down. And if you need to ship units for that, that's just what you do. Buying maybe a little bit early. Kind of telegraphing what he's going for to Lavendar. And I don't think he should go for the snare here. I think he needs to keep his Explorer alive to rebuild this. But he's going for the snare, which I don't think is worth it. Like, he would have won this anyway, without the Explorer snaring. And he could have sieged the TP and rebuilt it already, but kind of wasted. Let's check new shipments again. He's got Huss in queue already, so he's built a stable. Which is kind of nice, but like, Lavendar's still mostly musks, and maybe he can raid a bit with them, but he's still not really very exposed with his Vils. This is also nice. It's gathering right here. Right on the trade line where Mini can see it. So he finally took this down, but like I said, no Explorer, so he's going to build it with Vils, which is just slow and painful. So yeah, Lavendar just going for crates, units. And Mini going for crates, upgrades, weird Logistician stuff. More crates. Only got 1 Huss, so not going to do much. In the meantime though, Lavendar has been doing a very good job at training Vils, which is what you do as port, and is up like, yeah, 10 Vils already. I'll check the market ups actually as well.
Hola.
Yeah, so Mini's got pretty much all the market ups he needs.
Hola.
Because he's going to spam coins, so he doesn't need to mine much. And yeah, so does Lavendar. Ah, getting a raid already. Oh no, not finishing it. Okay. Getting this TP up. Let's see if he can switch it. Ah, not quite. I think he could have. Had like a 2 millisecond window or something. Popped, but it looks like he's bought some wood for houses, or just chopped a bunch. And wait, has he gathered these crates yet? Okay, he has, so he's not gonna age, he's just gonna make more units. Which I think you're fine to do as ports until Spain gets like unction in or something. This is a huge mass from Spain though. Mixing some dogs, us tanking on the front. Minutemen are nice, but it looks like Mini just has a lot more stuff. He might still be fine when these musks pop, but definitely looking scary. And all these vills going idle. Yeah, he has to run those. And there's like, let's just turn off Fog of War. Yeah, there's nothing for them to hunt like anywhere until he gets, not even in his base. So that really hurts. And he still has forgotten to put this under res. Shipping food though, so that's good because his hunt's running out. And holding here, it looks like, but maybe not trading too well. Catching that. Now he's definitely not trading well. Yeah, Mini doing this really well. Just forcing the vills off, then looping back around, staring with the Huss. Just exactly the position he wants. And he's got such like a big advantage right now that he's not even scared of another 10 musk popping. He can just kite his way out. Lavendar doesn't have any food apart from the crates. And I mean, he's ahead in vills, but that's it. They're not really gathering. Mini's got still 3 TPs to 1, and is still spamming crates with Logistician. So just Mo's borrowing res into existence. And Mini's just catching, or at least like scaring off the units as they come out, so he can never like put together a good enough mass to contest Mini's army. And then he's still getting just full batches of 5 musks. Super efficient. With like Furrier steel traps and just spamming coin. More good trades. Sieging the racks. That's gonna go down probably, I don't think. Lavendar can save it. Lavendar still has no food income pretty much. And it's looking really good for Spain. Just another full batch of 5 passes is really crazy. Spain spamming full batches from 3 buildings. 12 minutes. Pretty scary. Yeah, Rax is going down, while also taking good trades. He's got this going for him. 9 vills garrisoned, which is nice. I think it, yeah, just 2 shots, but yeah, it's over. GG. Was about to lose a bunch of vills down here, at least get idled. And he can't win a fight, ever. So that is the series. I think that's a 4-1 to Mini in the big, so very respectable, especially since Lavendar's been doing like quite well so far. Mini just, yeah, big 4-1. And I think that is it. So thanks for watching.